Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Principal Jill. Wave your hand if you call me Principal Jill. Yep, and those are my people. See my people over there? So that's the job that most people know me best by. You're used to. I have the opportunity to, thanks Nathan for setting that up, to connect with over 800 students every single day that are getting ready for post-secondary success, however it may look. And at the 916 Career and Tech Center, our goal is that 100% of those students enrolled at 916 Career and Tech will feel confident when they graduate about what comes next. Oh, look at that. You all just happen to be on my desktop. A photo I took from this morning. So, of course, as any good educator would, my lesson today starts with learning targets. So in the classrooms these days, learning targets are outcomes, and I have two outcomes for you today. One is that we will build your capacity, aka make you super fans of Northeast Metro 916 and 916 Career and Tech. And the second is that I'm happy to share a little bit of recent research and knowledge on how to reach the younger generation as your employees, as your community members. How do we connect with people that have graduated in the last, let's say, 5 to 10 years? So let's test my clicker. A little bit about Northeast Metro 916. Intermediate school districts were created to bridge the gap between school districts and provide services as needed for those that are members. Now, for those of you that have been in this community, let's say you've lived in this area for, at least half of your life. You know Northeast Metro 916 as Northeast Metro 916, fill in the blank, starts with a V. VOTEC. So my goal today is to help bridge the VOTEC with the 916 Intermediate School District of today. So those are some of the intermediate school districts here in the metro. And the clicker was working earlier. So there are 4 different branches of our Northeast Metro Intermediate School District. Previously, when it was VOTEC, there was post-secondary and secondary schools. Universities and Minnesota Department of Education split as entities. The post-secondary entities went under the bridge of, or under the umbrella of Minnesota State Colleges and Universities. So I think it was at Lakewood. You may know we have Lakewood. And then 916 VOTEC was a thing. We had both of those as options. They then came together as Century College. So that's Minnesota State Colleges and Universities. At that time, 916 Intermediate School District then was formed with, I think it was like 5 or 6 school districts locally. And at the time, it was 100% career and technical education, VOTEC. So we had the high school programs, which was 916 VOTEC for high school kids. And then the 916 VOTEC for post-secondary went to on the Lakewood side, there was the technical and community college, both sides. And now it's known affectionately as Century College. So take a moment and take the Century College side and put it on an island. Century College, the 916 VOTEC, and Lakewood Community College live over here. I'll be standing over here. Representing Northeast Metro 916 Intermediate School District. We're known for 4 amazing services that we provide to 13 member school districts in the Northeast Metro. Special education services, and let me tell you, this is, I can see Pancalo from here. When you take special education students and you create schools that are designed for them, that's what we do. Innovative, supportive schools intended for students with special needs. Our area learning centers, we provide that service for District 622. So for students who find a traditional high school setting isn't necessarily a great fit for them, we bring them to our area learning centers and help them find graduation and post-secondary success. Care and treatment centers for students where mental health needs have grown to the point at which they need to potentially have when you're inpatient treatment kind of mental health services, and school. So we make sure the school remains present there as well. And then the 916 Career and Tech Center. So those are the 4 branches of Northeast Metro 916. Often, you'll hear people talk about 916 as special ed. I'll get that branding as a little bit of a confusion when I talk about 916 Career and Tech. They think we're 916 Career and Tech for special education students. We absolutely serve students with special needs and find them doing amazing things, but we target all students, not just those with special needs. So, I'm going to talk about 916 Career and Technical Center as a whole and 916 Career and Technical Education. If you have questions about those other branches, feel free to let me know. And I can definitely connect you with somebody, and I know a little bit about each of those. At 916 Career and Tech, students build pathway of learning that leads to productive careers. All of these photos are real photos of your students from your communities doing these real things. So I'm always proud about that. These are not stock photos. These are our kids. So, speaking of Northeast Metro 916, which districts do we serve? These are the districts we serve and approximately how many students come from each district. This year, we're North St. Paul, Maplewood, Oakdale is coming in at about 134 of the over 800 students we are serving this year. So I'll step out of the way for a moment. I know some of you have businesses here in the Oakdale area, and some of you might live in some of those other communities. School districts use us for a wide variety of services. For example, Fridley, totally different dynamic. They're a comprehensive high school. They utilize us for very little in career and technical education because they're offering programs at their own high school, and they really have a comprehensive opportunities at their schools. In other districts, as you can see, we receive students in larger numbers. And the coursework is offered right alongside their other courses. These are some of my photos. This is my first day of school at 916 Career and Tech. Legit took that picture on my cell phone on my first day. Students come on district-guided transportation, and they participate in one of 20 career and technical education programs. These are some of the fun ones. That's an example of one of the houses that our construction students built. This one's not too far from the water tower in North St. Paul, and what I love about that photo is the person that bought that house is a student that built the student-built home 4 years prior. So 4 years later, they came back and bought a student-built home, much like the one that they built. If you're driving around North St. Paul, you're seeing it. You're seeing our houses all over. You just don't know it. Sometimes you might know it because it's a new build in an area with established homes. But we always strive to create kind of an aesthetic that doesn't stand out too much, but you can tell it's a little bit newer of a build. So we've been around since 1972. Our courses are mostly year-long, 3 blocks per day. We have a variety of rigor levels. We have some that are high level of rigor, 100% aligned with post-secondary outcomes, and some that are intro, like let's just get your hands dirty and see if you like it. What else? Yep, support specialists, so Jill Slayton over there provides career and college readiness support for our students. And she offers a college readiness series. We just did a reality check. Students got a budget and had to go around and make decisions about housing and transportation and entertainment. Oh, look at the smile. I just thought Ingrid's like, no, that was hard. Was it hard? Yeah, thumbs up if it was a hard exercise, right? Then after they were done, they had to figure out, do I have enough money? And then they had to go back to the table and change some of the decisions. They rolled the dice. They might have gotten birthday money or a flat tire. So we're helping set that priority, like this stuff's important. We need to be ready for real life. And then we have representatives from each of the high schools that come and tell us what's going on at the schools, and then we share with them what the amazing things their students are doing as well. So these are our pillars, and I'll talk a little bit about each. The advantage of an intermediate school district, we get to do the things that are hard to do at North or Tartan High School with licensed educators to do that work. Most of our educators come from business and industry. We steal them from the community, we put them in the classroom, and they can talk oodles about all of the things that are important and help prepare students for post-secondary success. Students, shake your head, yes or no, like, do they know their stuff? You can't fake that, can you? Medical careers, honors students are taught by a registered nurse. Construction occupations instructor every year is the project manager for the house. Diesel truck and engine technology, by the way, is the only diesel truck and engine technology program in the state for high school students, taught by a former 916 grad. Auto tech teacher used to work at Dakota County Technical College. Our staff, top notch. Some of the other things. Oh, really strong partnership. Obviously, our partner of choice is Century College. And then obviously, the advantage for this, for the school districts, when they enroll at 916 Career and Tech, versus when they enroll in PSEO. If they go to the college for PSEO, it takes the students off the high school's rosters, and the money goes with it. If they come to 916 Career and Tech, the money stays in the district, is shared with us as an intermediate, and the career and technical education levy funds go back to the district itself. So 622 is being real smart about this. Rather than seeing students fall through the cracks and go anywhere and take just any general ed classes, they're coming and they're taking this as a satellite, and they still are rostered and completely 100% enrolled at North Tartan High Schools and the other ones that I listed earlier. So I'd like to take a moment, and I want to invite Josh Jackson to come on up. Josh is going to share his story with you here briefly. These are actually, as you noticed earlier, pictures of our students in action. That is our diesel truck and engine technology class. Does that look like a classroom to you? Perhaps not, right? Does this look like a classroom to you? This was last Friday at the house. Okay. Carson, does that look familiar? Who's that guy? Okay, so honestly, it's like this is them in action this week. This is what schools look like at classrooms look like at 916 Career and Tech. Josh, come on over. I'm going to put you in the middle. So Josh is one of our student ambassadors. We have student ambassadors across our program. He's going to share a little bit with you about why he took the class, what he's learning, and what he plans to do after high school.
Thank you, Principal Jill. I decided to join this program because I career, or at least something that gets me working hands-on. I knew from probably about the age of 10, I didn't want to be in an office job. I don't want to wear a suit. I don't want to do a regular 9 to 5. And I honestly would not have found out about this without Melissa Jorgensen. She's the one that helped me get this started. This is my second year. It's my second year here at 916, and I absolutely love it. My instructor is great. He knows his stuff, and we learn so much about basics, even just some of the basics, but then we also dive more in depth and learn how engines work and what happens when something goes wrong and how to fix that thing. And it will really help you in the future for the career. You know what you're doing. You have prior experience while you're in high school. So when you go to like interview or do anything, college visit, they already know who you are, and they know that you have a lot of good prior experiences. We have really great college connections in diesel class, so we've had 2 or 3 college visits in the past week, 2 weeks, so that's always super nice. My plans personally, I would like to go to Dakota County Technical College down in Rosemount, and then do an internship program with Ziegler Cat down in Bloomington, Minnesota.
Yay. Thank you very much, Josh. Awesome. That's it? Fabulous. Good job, Josh. Wearing his Docs Diesel t-shirt, by the way. Exciting about that. So Josh is just one of over 800 high school students that have that level of passion, drive, and purpose for graduation that comes after that scary thing with the real world. In case you're interested, we have about 20 programs. So obviously we've got some of the transportation and healthcare represented here. We are also the only high school dental careers program in the state. Students can specify all the way down to the level of dental careers. Today they were doing some very intimidating things with dental instruments, and it smells like a dentist's office in there, I'm telling you. And they're located right next door to Century College, so they spend a lot of time in the Century College impressive multi-million-dollar lab up there. So those are just some of them. Future teachers, cosmetology. Like, you could come for a visit to my school, get your oil changed, get your teeth checked, get your nails done, like, you pick it. We can do it for you. Okay, so this is an example of a rigor chart. It's what counselors at home high schools use to determine what level of engagement they might recommend for a student. The blue is 100% aligned with post-secondary outcomes. It's like taking a college class at high school, but have a longer time to cover the material. Green is like your traditional high school elective. You've got college credits, industry certifications, and then those are those opportunities. And we're working to build more of the pink section. Those are intended for students with no reading or math barriers or guidelines that any student, because let's face it, every student is an asset in our community. And we're thinking that about our alternative learning centers and our special education sites. How do we prepare all students, not just general education students, but all students, to get out there and be a contributing member of our community? So those are the programs that we're, kind of the tool we use. And then this is our favorite thing. When Melissa looks up, she's gonna like grin from ear to ear. So there it is, there's her grin. This is a career tree. This is a culture shift in career and technical education, I would argue. When you think about this, in every single program and every single career pathway, you don't need to go straight for the bachelor's or doctorate degree. what our medical career students are doing right now and what they're going to qualify to be able to do after they graduate is all of these things. You don't have to think about this right now. Let's think about this. What are you going to do right after you graduate? Make the first best step for you. You've gained industry certifications and college credit. You can start right here, part-time, full-time, however you want to make it happen. These doors are open for you. Then, as you think about your future, the technical careers open up. More experience, more education. You have the opportunity to do careers like this. Now we're talking healthcare here. Are there only 12 at that level, 12 at that level, and 12 at that level? Thousands, 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 right? But to get students, when they walk in the door saying, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a nurse, well, what about all of the other things in healthcare that we need you to do? So we open the students' eyes to any and all of the careers that are out there, and these posters are almost this big in our classrooms. And every student has a leaf on it, and they put their name on it, and they say what career they're aspiring to after they spend some time learning about those careers. Marine electrician, why would you want to be a marine electrician? Why is that the most popular career in some of our classes when they do the exposure?
Fix it up, board motor.
Well, outboard motor, warmer climates. How do you get to the warmer climates? Where might you work? On a cruise ship. What if you worked on a cruise ship? Marine electrician, right? Like the types of things that our students discover that they never even imagined by doing the career, talking about the career tree and doing, think about lifestyle, which we'll talk about in a moment. Speaking of moments, lesson plan check. 2,700 college credits are earned each year, over that. Most of our students leave with a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 13, which is absolutely amazing. Walk out the door. I'm like a firm believer in industry certification and a college credit is achievable by every graduate. I've been working with administration at both Tartan and North High Schools to envision what that looks like there if every graduate not only got the diploma, but then could hold next to it the industry certification and college credits that they've earned. And those are some of the institutions that we have partnerships with. I am a proud graduate myself of this one, North Hennepin Community College. Of course, priority partner, Century. We're working with community members and families to talk more about where are your students actually going. This is a fun little chart that says for 2019 grads, this is the most recent data that's available, what percentage of North St. Paul Maple Oakdale grads attend 4-year public, 2-year public, 2-year private, 4-year private, and then outside of Minnesota. There's your chunks. So more students were heading to, from the class of 2019 headed to, straight to, a public 2-year than did a 4-year. Talk about a change of culture. Don't we all think everyone goes to a 4-year school? That was the previous generation. We all were supposed to go there, right? But a lot more students are starting there. And where do you think they're starting? Drum roll. Century College. No, this is always a confusion because our students come to Century College, so I always tell them, I say 916, you say career and tech. You ready? 916. Thank you. And then I go, located at Century College. Because everyone thinks I go to Century College, which is great. You're located at Century College, and that's our priority partner. However, Century College is obviously where most of our grads go, and also obviously more of North St. Paul and Tartan the grads go as well. Quick pendulum shift, 2-year, 4-year, or straight to employment. We actually have pep fests around futures. Like we celebrate everyone, whatever your pathway might be. Military, straight to work, 2-year, 4-year, that everyone has that value. We sit in the room and I have the auto people point at the tech IT people and say, I need to be friends with you. And then the IT people point at the cosmetology students and say, I need to be friends with you. We need to barter all of our skills. If you have all the right friends, you may not have to pay for much, right? Well, we're just thinking about like what immediately do our students need to do right after high school. And so when we think about changing that and that shift of pendulum is how do we meet these students where they are? How do we learn about who they are and how your employees and your community members that are coming from these younger generations, what motivates them? So I'm just transitioning to my learning target number 2, talking about how do you get into the brains of people like this, okay? How do we help them find the light at the end of the tunnel? I'm going to move along. There are a few other slides that are going to be shared on the website, but the big one here. This generation finds being connected to information is like breathing air. If they don't feel connected, they feel as though something is wrong. If trouble is, this generation, nobody can stay plugged in around the clock. Everyone has to occasionally log off and do something besides interact. And when they do, fear of missing out hits. So for Gen Z, the real world and the virtual world are the same. The virtual is simply a part of their reality. What's happening in the real world comes into their VR. Because they want to take photos and be a part of something bigger and something important. I love this part for this generation. If the want to is strong enough, the how to will come. They don't need to go to school. They can learn on YouTube. They can learn on Khan Academy. You can learn all the math you want on Khan Academy. They'll find a way to learn it. Old school was, get a high school degree, you'll make this number of bags. A technical degree might get you 2 bags of money. A bachelor's degree is 3. Well, that career tree busts through this particular brand of how we raise people, right? And a career for these students is just a ticket to the lifestyles of the rich and famous. They want experience, outcome, and know what the dollar signs look like. Some of the research, this is one of my favorite slides, poster format, everywhere I go. What success really looks like compared to what they think it is. So I'm actually on my last of slides. Opportunities and challenge. We have a skilled workforce shortage, and we're here to help satisfy at 916 Career and Tech the demand for that. High school is no longer a one-size-fits-all approach. Now we've got an opportunity to customize, and that's where we fit. Obviously, career and technical education has some additional costs. Our goal at 916 is to be their school to help your schools be their school to choose by having these options. And then obviously we're working wonderfully with Melissa and North St. Paul to get more so students and families know that this possibility even exists. Melissa's collecting business cards. Don't be surprised if you get an email from me saying, now that we've had this banner as part of this presentation, if you're thinking about ways that we can connect together, I've got my business card as well. We're always looking to build community. We want to be present in the classroom, be a part of our hiring, job fairs, all of those kinds of things. So there's my learning targets. So on a scale of 0 to 4, that's how schools rate. 0 is like, didn't do it. 4 was you hit the middle of the target, like you hit that first one. Did I build your capacity and make you super fans of Northeast Metro 916? 916 Career Tech, a 1. Oh, I got a 5. So how about a 1 to 4? 4? Okay, 1 to 4, okay, good. And then how about, well, at least share a little bit of recent research and help build your knowledge on how to reach the younger generation. That one might be, I'm rating myself as a 3 today. That was a 3. All right, fantastic. Thank you for the opportunity. Melissa Jorgensen, thanks for thinking of me. We are happy. I would love to have you all out for a tour. When the rubber meets the road is those tours, so let me know if you ever want to come out. You, yourself, and anyone that you're networking with, we're always happy to have you come.
Ride the bus just like the kids.
You can ride the bus that they fix, just like the kids.